Hey everyone, Happy New Year. It is 2021. I know for some of us 2020 felt like a long year, like it would never end, and here we are, it is 2021, and we have missed you guys. We haven't done these videos for the last couple weeks, and you know what? We miss speaking to you every single week. We miss showing up in your homes, on your phones, on your iPads. We miss being able to share what the Lord is speaking. So you know what? It's a brand new year and we have brand new lessons that we're going to be bringing each week for Kids Church. We miss you guys. We will still be having at our Anaheim campus, we have outdoor services where you guys could show up and come have family services with your family. And you can also watch these videos whenever you want to access them on our YouTube channel. So we are here for you and we're excited about these new series and these new lessons that we're going to be bringing to you. In fact, this is a brand new series that we're starting today called Run Your Race. And today's lesson is called Run with a Purpose. You know, it's a brand new year and New Year's was just a little over a week ago. And with the new year, there's always something I think about. I think of new beginnings, fresh starts, right? An opportunity to start new. In fact, my kids, myself, we do New Year's resolutions, things we want to do different this year. Right? My kids talked about reading more, doing better in their homework, about taking time to doing workouts and practicing their sports. You know, it's always good at a new change and a new season to stop and kind of think about things that we want to change, that maybe we want to do differently. And you know, when I think of new beginnings and new starts and fresh starts, I also think of running a race. Have you ever run a race before? Maybe at school. Maybe it was in a competition, maybe it was just for fun, maybe it's at home with friends, with sisters, with brothers. I remember growing up, I used to love running races. I used to love to compete, to go hard, to push my body as far as it could go. And I used to love crossing that finish line. Whether I was first, second, third, definitely was never last, come on. But I used to love finishing those races no matter what. And when I think of a new year, sometimes I think about running a race and getting a fresh start, a brand new start on that starting line. Did you know that Paul talked about our lives, the lives that we live, as if it was a race? In fact, in 1 Corinthians 9:24, Paul compares the life that we live to running a race. He says this, he says, "Do you not know that in a race all the runners run, but only one gets the prize? Run in such a way as to get that prize." What's he talking about? He's saying, look, in a race, everybody starts on the starting line. And when they say, on your mark, get set, go, and everybody starts running, he says, everybody's running hard, right? They're all running, they're all doing their thing, but only one person gets the prize. I don't know if you've been in a long race before. Maybe you've had to race at school. Maybe you've had to run a mile for your class. And I don't know if you've noticed, but a lot of times everybody starts off fast. Everybody starts off with good intentions. Right, man, I'm going to do my best. I'm going to get there. And you start running. All of a sudden you start looking around. And you start seeing people start to get distracted. You start to see people just start walking, talking to friends. Maybe their endurance is done. And they start thinking like, man, I don't want to do this. I don't feel like it's too hot, right? I don't got the right shoes. I'm all sweaty. And they start to change and they start to fall off. And there's always a few people that still run hard because they want to finish first. So what's Paul saying to us? He's saying, look, there are people all over, billions of people living their lives. But there are only a few people that are really living their lives with a purpose. Not everyone is living their life as God called them to. And Paul's saying, look, if you're going to live your life, do the best that you can to be everything that God called you to be. He created you uniquely with talents, with giftings, with amazing life that He has planned for you. And God's saying, look, I have created you specifically for a purpose. And Paul says, look, let's live our life going after that purpose. Doing all we can to bless the Lord and to bless the people around us. To make an impact in this world. To be a light that shines in this darkness everywhere we go. Paul's encouraging us saying, come on, you could do it. Live your life with purpose. Live your life like you are going after the prize. Like it's the biggest trophy you've ever seen in your entire life at the end. And guess what? It is. Heaven's waiting us at the end. That is the greatest gift we could ever have. The biggest trophy ever, to be spend time in the person with God. And Paul's saying, look, run your race to get there. That's what the Lord wants for us. But in order to do that, we're going to talk about the next couple weeks what we need to do to get there. We need to run with endurance, not to get tired, not to give up, not to let stumbling blocks keep us from getting back out there. We're going to be talking about also not letting things distract us, weigh us down. You know, we watched a documentary recently about these 3 guys that were trying to run a marathon, 26.2 miles in under 2 hours. That's 4.5-minute miles the whole entire time. And you know what they did to do that? They made sure that everything was good. How they ate, how they trained, the equipment they wore, the shoes, everything. They made sure they had everything perfect so they could run their best. And so we're going to talk about that the next few weeks, about how we could run the race that God has for us. That we could run our race with purpose, live our lives exactly how God called us to live. And we could be everything that God has called us to be. That's what He wants. He doesn't want us to sit on the side, right? And just sit in the stands and just cheer others on, eat our popcorn, drink our drink, look at our watch and say, hey man, when is this thing over? Because there are so many people in life that choose to sit on the sidelines. Maybe they think the race is too hard. Maybe they've been so distracted they've given up. Maybe they just feel like, man, they don't want to run this race. And so they'll get off the course and they'll sit on the sideline. And they'll spend their entire life doing nothing for the Lord. And that's not what God wants for us. He wants us to have a blessed life, a fruitful life. He wants us to have a life where His power, His goodness, His love shows up in all that we do. That everywhere we go, God goes with us. And we have a purpose and we have a calling. You know, that's what Paul was. Paul was a man that ran his race with a purpose. He lived his life knowing that God had called him. And he was going to do everything it took to be everything God called him to be. He wasn't going to let shipwrecks. He wasn't going to let sickness. He wasn't going to let fights. He wasn't going to let what other people thought about him. He was going to let nothing keep him from running the race that God gave him. He was going to let nothing keep him from being all that God created him to be. And towards the very end, Paul was able to say this. In 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 7, Paul says, I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. What was he saying? He was saying, look, I lived my life with purpose. I ran my race like I was going after that trophy. Like I was getting that blue ribbon. Like I was going to be celebrated as the winner. That's how Paul lived his life. And that's what the Lord wants from us. So in this brand new year, in 2021, let's live our life with purpose. Let's run our race. Let's get excited in the morning. Say, yes, Lord, what do you have for me today? Who am I going to bless today? Who am I going to make an impact on today? And let's run our race. And let's live our life because God has created you on purpose for a purpose. We love you guys, and we can't wait to see you soon, and we're so excited that we're able to be back with you each and every week. Let's talk to you soon.
I was running